On today's episode of Living Testimony, we gonna walk you down through there with Patches the Dread.
Don't miss it.
Patches the Dread.
Don't miss it.
If you are any... All right, today, man, we are back. We are back for the series of Living Testimony. I'm your host, Patches the Dread. Man, who I have with me today. Listen, this person is known in sports, known around the town, in music, known for hustling. Man, listen here. I got Terrence Bo Leg Randolph in the building. How you doing, bro?
We have Terrence Bo Leg Randolph.
Straight up, Oak Cliff to be exact, you dig?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, we in the building.
Man, how you doing today, Bo Leg?
Man, I'm alive and free, man. You know, that's what I always say, I'm alive and free, bro, because everything else, you got to be on me after that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up.
So we going to go down through there, man. You brought up Oak Cliff. I can't even get the introduction now before you get the Oak Cliff. You know what I mean? What part of the cliff you from?
Man, over there by Roosevelt City Crest area where I was born and raised at.
Yeah.
Yeah, went to N.W. Harley, Albertson and Johnson, went to City Crest Elementary School now.
Yeah.
Out of one there, Holmes Middle School in Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Franklin Delano Roosevelt to be exact.
But it's a street, man, that you scream that you made prolific. You know
Well,
what I mean? You
High
made
Street?
known, man.
Man, say, man, everybody been on High Street, bro. If you ain't been on the high, man, you ain't been to our hood, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody been on the block.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight from High Street is where I'm from.
Okay, so look, man, we gonna go down through there just from childhood, man. You know what I mean, to your journey that led you to the music. You know, we gonna go all down through there, but we gonna start right now with childhood, man. How many siblings did you have? Do you have?
Man, I got 3 brothers. One, me and my brother got the same mom and dad. Then I got 2 brothers, another brother named Ronnie, Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah, we grew up in Oak Cliff on High Street. Like I say, just elementary school we went to, middle high, out of one there, Holmes Middle School, Roosevelt. My brother played baseball. He got drafted by the Seattle Mariners straight out of high school.
That's big brother?
That's my big brother by my mom and my dad, yeah.
Yeah.
But my other brother, Cassie and Ronald, I believe they could be older than me because I ain't really seen them too much since I was little. But I just heard that, one of them went to San Diego State and played 1 year with the Chargers, and my other brother went overseas to play basketball for a little minute.
So y'all got that athletic background. It's in the genes. It's in their blood.
Yeah, my dad tried out for the Rangers in '78, man. He ended up getting cut on the last cut date or whatever. So, I went on to play semi-pro football, which my brother played for the same team. Won the championship there. I ended up breaking my neck there at the same place where I started is where I ended at Salvation Army.
Okay, so look. So you play semi-pro, you play football. What you play, DN?
No, I played quarterback, sir. So that's why they call me the man under.
Yeah.
Yeah, the quarterback, the man under.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, so we got the DNA, we got the pedigree. Just tell us a little bit about your childhood, man, in Oak Cliff, on High Street, in those elementaries. Just tell us about what life was like.
Pretty much, man, my grandfather, my grandmother and grandfather raised us, man. It was like, anywhere from 13 to 15 people in one house, 2-bedroom house. Slept on the floor, I didn't get in bed till I was in 11th grade, man. My mom been on crack, bro, since I was 8 years old. So, I was pretty much raised by my granny and my coaches.
Yeah.
And, a couple of my partner parents, I used to go to their house and cut yards, pick up cans and, man, do whatever it was to make me some money, man, you know what I'm saying? So, it was already embedded in me, that I was gonna get up and get some money one day anyway, you know what I'm saying? So it just rolled on over from me watching my grandfather and a man named Gregory Glover stayed across the street, man. I used to watch him get up and go to work all the time and take care of the family, man. So I knew that's what it was about, though. But pretty much, at the end of the day, man, it was a struggle growing up, you know what I'm saying? So, we had to make do, but I really thankful that I had a granny and a papa.
Yeah.
And my coaches, man, that raised me, they helped raise me.
Well, that's me, man. Crack era came longer, later, so you were already in this world. But you know me, I graduated SCBU, Sophisticated Crack Baby University, you know what I mean? And I'm thankful that I had the love of a granny as well, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
But talk to us about You say 13, 15 in one house. Who was that 13 or 15? You know what I mean? That's a big family.
Like me, my grandma, my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom, my Uncle Bobo, my Aunt Helena,
Yeah.
My Aunt Christinelle. That's 6. Then you got me and my brother make 8. My cousin Roger, Charlotte, Javon. My cousin Charlotte,
Yeah.
Bebe, Precious, and Jr. You got my cousin Tasha, John Ted, and Fanoy. It was pretty much, it was a whole, it was a 2-bedroom house with all us off in there. So, we made do have it, I was one of the ones that caught the flow, bro.
Yeah.
Slept on the floor, you know what I'm saying? I still graduated, though, you feel me?
Yeah, you graduated to that bed.
Yeah, you hear me? Graduated to that bed, then graduated on to college, you know what I'm saying? Then graduated to the streets.
Yeah.
Then I mastered the streets.
Okay, so look, though, we going there. Okay, we gonna get there.
Get
so that's what the childhood was like. Sound like a bunch of love, though,
Yeah, man, like I said, I grew up in the City Crest area, man. I grew up playing for the Comets, man, the City Crest Comets. Where it wasn't none that I couldn't get at the Salvation Army, bro. If it was clothes, it was food. If it was the love, it was the shelter. It was the everything you look for, man. Like I say, the love, man. Mr. Sheffield and them, H.T. Williams, Coach Marlon, Mr. Vic, Coach Phillip, man. They really, they did a number with a whole lot of us over there, man. And I really appreciate everybody who took part and helped raise me, man.
Man, you named from the onset. You named your grandfather. You named across the street neighbor.
Yeah.
Now you down there for the Comets into the Salvation Army,
right?
And you naming these men that had an early impact on your life. You know what I mean? At a young age, bro. Talk to us about just how important that was, because they wasn't calling it mentorship back then, but today we would call it mentorship, right? How important was that in shaping who Bo Leg has become?
Man, it was really important because, like I say, if you can find a love, from your own daddy, you know what I'm saying, you go get it from your coaches, man.
Yeah.
And they really stayed on me because I had an attitude problem, bro. It was so bad, man. Like, I was always talking back. I was always getting whoopings. I was always getting patted. The discipline, bro. The discipline that they take out of these schools and homes is one of the main reasons why the generation of kids is pretty much, excuse my language, they pretty much fucked up because a lot of stuff they know that it can't happen. And the police, they gonna run away, call the police.
Yeah.
And, it's just too much that can happen to a parent for disciplining their kids these days when that's what they need, bro. So, like I said, my coaches, man, they pretty much, all the way through high school to my coach Willie Deering, man, like, everybody had their foot on my neck, man. And I'm just saying, man, I really thank you. Like, my partner Antoine Jackson, his daddy, man, like, they took care of me for a long time, bro. So I knew growing up around positive people that's what I needed, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I be in the community getting back to the kids, because if it weren't for my coaches, I wouldn't know how to do the things that I do pertaining to getting back to the community and being in kids' lives, you know what I'm saying?
So, man, that's deep, and with all of that, with that impact, with that love, with that mentorship, right? We gonna go up to high school. You still end up, detouring and taking a certain route. We gonna get to that later, but first, I want to get off into high school years and what was high school like for Mr. Leg.
Man, high school was easy, bro. Like, just on the up and up, because I had made a name for myself, bro, and I really didn't take my education serious, so. It was more like you just make 70s to pass to play sports and just try to graduate and get on up out of there instead of me pushing to be, on the A on the roll, or my GPA being a 3.5 or a 4.0, because that's the pivotal point when those colleges come down, the college coaches come to recruit you, they look at your GPA. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If your GPA ain't up to par that's matching your SAT or your ACT, they gonna have a problem with recruiting you. You know what I'm saying? So with me leading the state, and our district or whatever you want to call it, man. I passed for 2,300 yards, 30-some odd touchdown passes with 6 picks, but I ended up going to a junior college. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't take my education serious. You know what I'm saying? But I had a chance to once I visited Alcorn State, I had a chance, to meet Steve McNair, him and his brother that was there. I could have. I played behind Steve, the same thing I did in high school. I played behind my brother my 11th grade year, but I got playing time to my 12th grade year. The show belonged to me. So the same thing could have happened to me in college, but I didn't have or the leadership or the guidance to tell me what was good for me and what wasn't good for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we try to push our kids to what's best for them, because, you know, without the advice from somebody that's older than you, who done been there and done it, then, you know what I'm saying, like, you'll be just on the trail on your own, you know what I'm saying, making decisions that you got to live with. And that was something about me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like playing football in high school, man. You know, my senior year, it was more like it was just a show, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we was 9-0, and Hillcrest was 8-1. Clint Robinson them out there in the North Dallas projects.
Yeah.
We ended up playing. Clint played for the Comets too. You know what I'm saying, when he was younger. But I hadn't seen him since we were young. Ended up going to the coin toss with Clint. And I look at him like, it's Clint.
Yeah.
So me and Clint, it was just a high side thing right there. But
I ain't know that.
In the right hand corner,
yeah,
man, we had probably like 17 drug dealers over there, bro.
Yeah.
Like my cousin, they just like, hey man, you throw this many touchdown pass, 200 yards, whatever, come to the house, you got bread. Man, got out there and scorched them people, 34-6, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Got to the crib, got my money, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it was. You know what I'm saying? Like they come pick me up with the fanciest cars from school. The principal, hey Randolph, it's a fancy car outside at lunchtime. They'll come pick me up, bring me back, bro. It's really like, to be honest with you, it wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? How I was being treated, because that showed me that once you become popular, you have power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I try to instill in kids, like, you can have all that, but you still need to make the right decisions about things that you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
So look, you say you played behind your brother.
My 11th grade year.
Your 11th grade year.
Yeah.
So how did you overcome that, or did he just, you know?
Well, the way I overcame it was my sophomore year, when I moved to varsity. I already knew that my brother a hell of an athlete, bro.
Yeah.
Like, hands down. Like, the Joker hit a baseball 500 feet and throw 106 miles per hour fastball. Dana throw a football probably the whole field. Like, I knew my athleticism wasn't better than his, but it's a difference between, you know, him and me. He was a ball. He was a person, you put the ball in his hand, he'll make something happen. When I'm a be the one to guide the team and do what the coaches say. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like structure for me, and it was more like a highlight reel for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like I say, my junior year, I worked hard, man. Like, I trained all summer, bro. Like, man, I was jogging, running, doing everything I could do. And I played a lot, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? Because I know how to play receiver too. I played punt return, kick return. It was just other things that I knew that I could play on the field, but I got a lot of playing time my junior year, though. A lot of playing time. Then when they rolled to my senior year, it was over with then, bro.
Okay, so look, the hustlers picking you up from school, you star athlete, all this other kind of stuff. Were you, did your hustling days, we're going to get into your hustling, you know what I mean, because you went up, but did your hustling days start in high school after you graduated or what?
No, I started in high school. I used to go to lunch with a 1,200 pack of 50s. You know what I'm saying? I sell out at lunchtime. So I used to, one day we had Hollywood at school, and Coach Deering, he called me, hey, son, hey, Judge, come here. I walk over there to him, he say, man, you can't be at school with money like that, because in Hollywood, you wear just your helmet with your sky blue Mustang shirt with some burgundy tights.
Yeah.
And inside my burgundy tights, I had some money off in there. And he was like, Judge, you can't do that. So I stopped selling 50s at school, you know what I'm saying? I just went on and focused on school then, you know what I'm saying? But
So look, we can't ease past that, because that's not an everyday thing, right? You know what I mean? Youngster in high school that has the intentionality to go to school with this chopped up dope 50s and sell out. You know what I mean? How was that birthed? Where'd that come from, Leg?
Well, I mean, I was around it, you know what I'm saying? Because my cousin them had it all, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, shit, I might well give me some money too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then I just looked up at all the different ball players, like, where, all the hustlers that was around. You had the Kevin McPhail, you had Cedric Seymour Tatum, you had Cut-Lip Tony Williams, Trent Brewer, you know what I'm saying? Terrence Lott, man, it's a whole lot of dudes that was around me, whether I was around, that they just, they had it, bro, you know what I'm saying? They just all in one they was in one circle, bro, and they were having plenty. Like, they had so much money, bro, at that time. I didn't have friends coming to my house, bro. no girls, no boys, nothing. My teachers come pick me up from DeSoto and take me to Roosevelt every single day, bro, my senior year. And I appreciate my teachers for even, you know what I'm saying, giving me rides to school. You know what I'm saying, like straight up.
Okay, so talk to us briefly about that era, you know, the crack era. And you said that your mother, you know, she fell victim to that. Along with that, but just the community and the things that were happening from your viewpoint, you know, just the change that brought about. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you know, that crack era in the 90s, bro, it was like, bro, there's so much money out there, man. In the early 2000s, bro, so much money. It's like, it's crazy. But, man, it affected my life, you know what I'm saying, because of, you know, I never did understand, like, why my mama couldn't feed us at times or whatever, you know what I'm saying. I used to knock on her door, you know, ask her or tell her I'm hungry. I look up, you know, one day I just push her door open, go in there. I see baggage on top of a TV stand. Then I go in the, I mean, I didn't understand at that time what it was in the baggage, but as I got older, I said, well, damn, this is why my mom, you know, she couldn't feed us or why we was going hungry, because, you know what I'm saying, it was the drugs she was using, you know what I'm saying? So it did affect me, though, you know what I'm saying? It affected us because that's one of the reasons why we was turning to other people to get the support we need. Even our baseball coach named Norman Miller over there at the Beck, the Center, Rec Center, man, he came along and pretty much helped us out, too. So like I say, man, it was a lot of coaches that helped us through that era, man, you know what I'm saying, through you know, junior high and high school or whatnot.
So we got your high school, star athlete, you quit hustling cold turkey, you know.
Yeah, and I just graduated and I went to college.
Graduated,
you know
went to college, wasn't really focused on your grades, so you didn't get to go where you needed to go. You went where you had to go. And then talk to us about that.
Because when I got Coach McElroy from the Navarro Bulldogs, they had already been recruiting me since my sophomore year. Because they came to one game and I probably threw like 7 touchdown passes on Woodrow Wilson. And like it was crazy.
So man. You was cold pepper before it was cold pepper, man. What was your high school? What was your high school stats or your size? Cause you a big dude. So
I wasn't number like this is the crazy part. I wasn't that big in high school.
Yeah.
Like I was only like I don't know. I probably like 6 feet 6'1". I don't know. I graduated weighing 165.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Then when I came from college, I came back. I was like 6'2" and a half, like 245. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was just a whole difference. But I done had a cold pepper look until I started playing semi-pro football.
Yeah.
In the era like into me playing college football. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you know, I mean, you can look me up if you think it's. You know, you can go on YouTube and find the Dallas Diesel, where I played with Coach Joe Portwood over there. We was the Metro Magic first, went to the Dallas Diesel, and we won the championship over there. So, yeah, I mean, you can pretty much find my stats. Just go look up Dallas Diesel football. You'll find me in there.
So, boom. Hustling. Leg. Because the leg I know and the name that rang. Okay, look, man, we skipping, man. We going to talk about Stampede. Right, and a lot of in that area was a lot of bling bling. It's cash money, you know. It's a lot of material, right? You know, it's a lot of going getting it. But the name Stampede, talk to us about how Stampede was birthed, or even where you came up with that name first and foremost.
It come from again, is Joseph Watkins. Bobo used to rap for my cousin. Cully up in Seymour. They had a group called Infrared, Bobo and Solo. And both of them said and Cut Up ended up catching Fed cases or whatever. And by 96, Bobo came to my house and was like, man, he want to keep doing rap. And I was like, all right, cool, bro. How much it costs? Whatever. He told me how much it cost. I said, give me a couple of days. He come back by in a couple of days. We were trapping up on the hill down on Bonneville and 11th Street.
Yeah.
Me and my cousin Block and my other partner, Arthur Ray. All of us was up on the hill, man. You know what I'm saying? We were hustling up there. And he came back a couple of days and he asked me, you know, what I want to name the label. And I said Stampede Records, you know what I'm saying? So I was like Stampede. So that's when he came with the music side and I came with the hustle side and we just made a record label called the Stampede Records.
And what was Stampede? Why Stampede? What made you just say Stampede like that?
I don't know, man, because I always, you know, in my head I have, you know, I used to have this, you know what I'm saying, like, thing about, you know, if people don't roll with you, they get rolled over, you know what I'm saying? And that's where the Stampede come from, you know what I'm saying? If you roll with me, get rolled over. That's the Stampede motto. So that's how it came about, you know what I'm saying? In my head, you know what I mean? Because I actually heard, I want to say another artist, he really was high side in an interview, you know what I'm saying? And he was talking about how he was Stampede people and, you know, run over. So I was like, you know, it just dawned on me. It just came off like that, you know what I'm saying? And we went downtown, me and Bo went downtown, put the name in the computer, gave the people ID, you know what I'm saying? We started Stampede.
Just like that?
Yeah, just like that. And then where we brought, where his cousin, Michael Caldwell, rest in peace to Michael Caldwell, he get killed, I think late 98, somewhere in 98, after we shoot a video with Spice One. It's called I'm Just a G. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Damn, y'all shot a video with Spice One down here?
Yeah, it's called I'm Just a G.
How'd that come about?
Well, Bobo and Ro P, they was out where Bobo and Ro P was the artist on Stampede, you know what I'm saying? And man, Bobo had a lot of connections with a lot of people. So, you know, again, like I say, I was the breadwinner, man. I just told Bo whatever it is he was trying to do, man, go out and find whatever it is that he want, the artist, whatever artist he want. I just told him, man, you know, get the artist you want, do whatever, man. We did, and we put the project together. That's how it came about. And at that time, we pulled Mike. That's where we put his cousin Mike in. Just, you know, of course, we always try to clean up our money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, cleaning up some money.
Yeah.
So that means you was touching some money.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, you were nickel and diming?
Nah, of course you start off nickel and dime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I say we started hustling up on the hill first.
Yeah.
It just, I changed the dynamics of the game, you know what I'm saying? When, you know, everybody selling nickels, I started selling dimes. They started selling dimes, I started selling quarters. They started selling quarters, I started selling 50s. They started selling 50s, I started selling weight. So there you go. You know what I'm saying? There you have it. I mean, I just took off selling weight then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say, so, man, talk to us, man, because, you know, you got a real, your testimony, your story, it run deep, right? So, and we starting right there with the hustling. So now you got the hustling going on. You got the music going on. You know what I mean? And you got the hustling going on.
And I still playing semi-pro.
And you still playing semi-pro, man. So how the hell, like, you know, how was this possible?
Well, you know, one of my, you know, this was a question asked to me before, like, how was it possible to do everything that I was doing? Like, bro, when you got money, you set your own schedule. You don't work for nobody. You're your own boss. So I was able to still focus on, you know, put money in music, still playing semi-pro football, still hustling, still giving to my community, City Crest Comets, buying uniforms, you know, still doing the same thing, donate money to the Comets and everything, you know what I'm saying? So it was easy, bro. Like, people think it'd be a hard job, but when you got money, bro, it becomes easy. But the thing become hard about it is when people rely on you and you allow them to rely on you. You know what I'm saying? When you collect that extra baggage, bro, like, it make it tough for you then, you know what I'm saying? Because now you're doing a lot of hustling, but you hustling to satisfy people, you know what I'm saying? And not just for what you need it for, you know what I'm saying? So I never hustled, you know, for the cars, the jewelry, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I hustled for bond money. I got a $400,000 bond one time, and the judge say the Dallas Police Department asked us to give you a bond that you couldn't get out on. And when he said that, I literally in my head, I'm laughing because I'm like, man, I got money, dog. I'm gonna get out. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a bond that I couldn't touch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just sitting up there like, I mean, it was a practical joke to me, man, the way that I was being harassed by the DPD, bro. They was trying to plant dope on me and everything, bro. So at the end of the day, I know they was trying to get me out the street some type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Was this at your height or on your come up?
Nah, this is at my height. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I probably had like, I don't know, cash. I had $1,265,000 cash, you know what I'm saying? And I still had money in the street. So it was more of, they had an idea of what was going on.
Hold on, man. I'm not going to, listen. I know you know, you leg, you know you know what I mean? But I'm not going to let you skate past, you know, that meal ticket cash. How much you said? You said the exact amount.
$1,265,000 cash.
Man, how that feel to have to have a meal cash wherever you were touching it? How that feel to have a meal touch?
I mean, it was crazy because it was like, you know, the funny part is, like, when I, you know, if dudes hustling to get money, you know what I'm saying? It's like the way that you hustle, I would spend it all to get a bigger profit, you know what I'm saying? So if you sit up and look at, if you spend, let's say probably 330,000 on 20 bricks, you know what I'm saying? Roughly, I would profit, you know what I'm saying, 100,000. You know what I'm saying? So it was just to the fact of like, boom, you hustle, you hustle, you hustle. And it's like, it take me back to where I was stuck at 99,000. And I couldn't figure out why I was stuck, you know what I'm saying? So I would buy one key. And I was like, man, hell nah. And then I caught on to it. Man, spent all that shit. I spent all that shit. Now I'm sitting at like 110, 115. But
you spent the 99.
Yeah, I spent all of it, you know what I'm saying? And then my homeboys be like, man, why you spend all your money? I was like, man, because I'm trying to make it. But you know, man, like I said, you know, when I started reaching my peak, bro, it wasn't a day that I didn't do under 5 keys. You know what I'm saying? That shit was easy.
A day.
That was light. Yeah, that was light work. You know what I'm saying? I never had a drought. You know what I'm saying? I never went through a drug drought. You know what I'm saying? A drug shortage, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, my highest. You know what I'm saying? You know, we talking about numbers. About 40 keys at 16.5. You do the math. You know what I'm saying? 660,000. You don't got. You know what I'm saying? 660,000 on top of me having 540,000 cash still in the book bag on the side. So it was like one dude didn't know I had a meal ticket, you know what I'm saying, until I exposed it to him. But your partners know your partners.
Yeah.
The dudes you named early in the set, they know I had a meal because they asked me how I done it, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I'll be back. So I went in my grandma's attic. I dumped out the whole meal ticket on the floor. Yeah. And my granny cussed me out because she was like, I don't know who them niggas is with them braids. I don't know who them niggas is with them braids, you know what I'm saying? And fuck it, my partner Ro, he laughed about it still to this day, man, you know what I'm saying? He laughed about it to this day, and he was like, man, that nigga leg inked up. That's where I got the word ink from, because Ro used to always use that word, that nigga got ink. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? That's how, when I just dumped the money, I was like, bro, this is how I'm able to do everything, bro. Take care of everybody, you know what I'm saying? I do what I gotta do, man, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's just like, what you hustle for. I don't hustle for tennis shoe money, jewelry, cars, none of that. But I hustle for bond money, you know what I'm saying?
So it sounds like you had the mind and the business acumen and prowess to calculate mentally how much a bond would be, how could I afford it, and how to continuously flip your money to make a better profit.
Yeah, of course, because you sit back and look at it, man. I mean, it's crazy if I could just do dynamic numbers for you, you know what I'm saying? Just prime example, like, I would take 1 kilo and get 20 half of bigs and sell them for $1,200 a piece. So that's 24,000. So if I did 10 of them, that'll be 240,000. But I only paid 165,000. Do the profit, what that is, like a $75,000 profit. But I can do that in 1 or 2 days, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't I'm not being funny. I had a partner out of the north. He wanted 120 half of bigs. He didn't want to buy keys. He made his money by half of bigs. So if you look in your head, 120 half of bigs, that number 6 kilos. 6 kilos is say $6,000. You know what I'm saying? It's 16,000. That's $96,000. Yeah. But I charged them $1,200 for 120. It's like 144 some odd thousand. So I profit 48,000 off of him. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I changed the game with the dynamics of the numbers. See, if you do numbers, then you win. See, a lot of people they don't deal with numbers. I deal with numbers. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people say, "No, I give away too much game." No, I give it away because because people behind. You know what I'm saying? But some of these kids, some of these people, some of these dudes done got, you know, they done got wise, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just. It's too many tactics that you can use now to try to, you know what I'm saying, bluff the game, you know what I'm saying? But, it's just certain people get it. That's all I can say, man.
Man, I'm sitting over here impressed. I've been in business, running business for the last 20 years and dealing with big numbers for other corporations, not mine. But you running down those numbers like you playing a set of dominoes, you know what I mean? Give me 25. So my question is this, Mr. Bo Leg, and that is, could you have
easily scaled any legitimate business.
Oh, well, I mean, my record label was a legitimate business. We sold records. See, it started with the record label of, we had the, we did the Bo Summer in the Water project. That's what Spice One is on that project.
Okay.
But we did a compilation. Before that, it never got released. So we did the compilation that never got released. Then we did the Bo Summer in the Water. That had the Spice One project on it. Then we come back with the double disc that we come back with in like 99, 2000. It's called Our Time to Shine, which I bought 92,000 copies of that.
Okay.
And then we come back and we did a 5-state tour off of that same compilation album. So we went from Dallas to New Orleans, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, up to Memphis 10 and back.
So it sounds like you even knew to utilize marketing dollars to invest.
Well, it wasn't. It's the truth of the matter is, man. I mean, I pretty much learned. I learned the game. I paid to learn what I know. You know what I'm saying about the game and life. To be honest.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying. So I was trying, off my own self-knowledge, to get a whole label to where I felt like that, you know what I'm saying, that we had the #1 label in Dallas, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And, you know, but with me not knowing everything, that kind of handicapped me, because when people think that you got it all and you got it all worked out, they tend to stand back and watch the tree fall, you know what I'm saying?
That part.
Instead of just being a man or just coming out and saying, "Nah, Lig, that's wrong. You can't do that," or blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. Because every time somebody told me no, I always use my money to get me where I need to go. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all tell me I can't do that, I'm like, shit, fuck that. I'm gonna use my money to get around that. And that's what I was doing. But on the back end, it's more that you build relationships with people so that way that you don't have to spend the money. You know what I'm saying? So it was just more of me. It was more of me just trying to get everybody around me, my people, where we need to be with the record label. You know what I'm saying? So it was a legitimate business, but I didn't see a check until I dropped the I Got Money project, straight from High Street project. I had pre-sales of 10,000. I had 10,000 pre-sales from the album. You know, my first check was $54,000. You know what I'm saying? That was my first time that I ever seen a check. Okay. But, you know me, you say it's legitimate, but I took that right back to the bird, man, to the Mexicans. You know how I go now, but I'm just keeping it 100, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, so I started seeing money then. I started getting paid for shows and everything at that point.
Man, I'm very impressed to be in the city, to be part of the town, and to hear the story first off, man. It sounded like you had some brains behind it.
Yeah, now, I mean, I had brains, but again, even like we was looking at this camera, got Sony on it. My homeboy JD worked for Sony, which his cousin BC is Southern Fried Marketing.
I remember that.
If you remember, at one point they had light boxes in the clubs. I was the one who put the money behind the light boxes in the clubs. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't go right. I also did I put $150,000 behind a TV show called Somewhere on the Corner. It's called On the Corner. But the guy named Mike died with an enlarged heart. You know what I'm saying? So all that went out the window too. You know what I'm saying? I had footage on Jay-Z, Eminem, Jermaine Dupri, whole lot of people, you know what I'm saying?
You still got the footage?
No, when he passed away, it messed me up real bad. He the same guy that shot, we got a video called Block Bleeder, 20 inches gold crowd when we bleed your block. It's on a double disc, you know what I'm saying? So he the one shot the video, and we shot it at the Salvation Army, the Cummings football field out in our hood. So that was one location we shot it at, but he passed away, and then I lose like $75,000 on the clothes store. So it's not like I wasn't trying to, you know, clean my money up, man. It's just, in life, bro, you got to deal with people that can help you elevate. You know what I'm saying? Because if you sticking with the same people that's around you that can't help you elevate, they ain't going to take you down. You know what I'm saying? So just think about it. If you get money and I run into JoJo can help me get to the next level to see something I ain't never seen, when I can't go right here and deal with my little cousin named Jerry because Jerry can't help me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you get money, man, you got to go ahead on and elevate your game, man. You know, I mean, you can't be afraid to go touch new heights, man. You know what I'm saying? So, it was a lot that I tried.
And you did try, and to me, that's the definition of gangster, man. You know what I mean? People actually trying. I think a lot of people get trapped because they don't see themselves doing anything but what they doing, man. You know what I mean? But it seemed like that before you got caught up, before the end of your run, you did everything. You know what I mean? To like you say, to try to clean it up and try to do something different. So just talk to us, man, about that change, because right now everything cool. You leg, you got a hell of a run, citywide, statewide, you regional. You know what I mean? 2 sports, you know, and then boom, you end up doing Fed time, man. So just talk to us about just that, you know, that transition right there.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even. I mean, I had the feeling that the Fed case was gonna come, because one day, me and my kid mom, we was riding past Seagoville, and my oldest son, Junior, I was laying back in the seat and I was crying. He was like, Daddy, why you crying? I said, Junior, because I'm tired. And I say, I'm so tired, I know one day I'm gonna end up over there. And it was Seagoville, you know what I'm saying? I felt it coming, I just didn't know, you know what I'm saying, the angle and direction that it would come, because I've been dealing with the same people forever and a day. So when you're dealing with the same people, you know what I'm saying, you tend to be comfortable with those same people, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the true story is, you know, B Love is one guy who was, you know, with this dude at the time, the R&B thug off our record label, B Love. Him and the good dude named Mike might jump out the window, you know what I'm saying? And Mike might break his leg and the police catch him, take him back upstairs, and, you know, find all the low stuff in apartments or whatever. And the 2 dudes knew that they was trying to go get him they were trying to go get him from David Wells' bail bum, and they go get him. David telling me a flight risk, give me $8,000. They go up there with $6,500. He wouldn't take it. They go back 3 days later with the $6,500, and David said, well, give it to me. So when they get there, David run his name and say, the feds got a hold on him. So at that particular time, man, both of those guys knew that the feds had him, bro, and they should have just went on and just came back to the clique, you know what I'm saying, telling everybody, you know, that the dude might that the feds had him, you know what I'm saying, but didn't nobody say nothing, and out of nowhere, Mike might pop up one day, you know what I'm saying, which did nobody know but those 2 dudes. So when Mike might pop up, they just think he just got out of, you know, just got out of jail, you know what I'm saying. But nah, man, he got out working like a mug, man, you know what I'm saying, and just, man, he just started taking people down, bro, you know what I'm saying, from east to west or wherever he was putting them from, because a lot of people don't understand how a conspiracy works. It could be one dude at the top, he could go for somebody from the left and somebody from the right. Them 2 dudes don't even know each other, but they're on the same conspiracy, you know what I'm saying, because the one dude in the middle is the main dude that served both people. So that's how a conspiracy works with a lot of people who don't know people that they be on cases with, you know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of dudes on this case, man, that, I mean, I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I probably knew just all the dudes, maybe like 8 dudes at the most, if I can just sit back and just run through it.
On a how many person indictment? You say you know about
36, 8. 36-man indictment.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was 36-man indictment. I only knew the dudes that, like the Biggs dude, Marquise, L.A., Lil New Jack, Lil Brandon, Dukas, my cousin, you know what I'm saying, like KT and Marshall. Yeah, about 9 people that I actually knew, you know what I'm saying, that was on the case, but all of them was workers though, bro.
Yeah.
They was nobodies, you know what I'm saying? Oh, besides this dude named Merle is 10, Total 10, you know what I'm saying? Merle is an artist who's on on my record label, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
So 36 man indictment. From what side of the city? All over the city, particular side?
I know they were from the south and the east. You know
South
what I'm
and
saying?
east.
Yeah. So that's what I do know, you know what I'm saying? As of, you know, after I got the indictment, of course, over the years, you know, you bump into people, you learn who they are, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's how it go down. Some people, I mean, I just feel like it was a weak case. I feel like, you know, the DPD started working with the feds, you know what I'm saying? This dude, you know what I'm saying? The police officer, David Boston, he just, you know what I'm saying, started terrorizing everybody, bro, because he had CIs that was, I guarantee you, from the 2006 all the way up to maybe 2010, he probably got 500 dudes out the city, north, south, east, and west. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how the ball bounced, bro. The police officer had a lot of dudes working for him. You know what I'm saying?
But when you say a weak case, we talking about the feds, right? And they say the feds 95% conviction rate, all that other kind of stuff. This,
Yeah,
that,
only
and
because they have. It's too many ways of the feds, bro. Like for them to really trap you. You know what I'm saying? Like if they come after you, it's because they got something on you. You know what I'm saying? Not and let alone that. Like I got a sheet of paper with like 20 names on it with dudes and wrote the DA said they'll come back and testify on me if I go to trial, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't gonna never go to trial, you feel what I'm saying? Like that'd have been the craziest thing for me to do because dudes out the blue trying to save their ass by saying I served them work, you know what I'm saying? And my exact thing to the feds was, but y'all I done 200-300 shows. I've been on 700,000-800,000 posters and on the radio. Everybody gonna say they bought drugs for me, bro. So y'all got me up here like a sitting duck. So yeah, I'm a plea out. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's the smartest thing for me to do. I'm not gonna sit up there and go fight and try to fight something that I don't have no leeway to fight. You know what I'm saying? Because on the case I was on, like I said, man, they gave dudes 18 months probation. They even let some of them go home, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I felt that it was the weakest case. And truth of the matter is, the main dude on the case, rest in peace to Biggs, I was giving him quarter ounces and half ounces. He wasn't buying no work. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know what I'm saying, what they caught me at is what they caught me at. But they just really thought they was gonna get so much out for me, you know what I'm saying? When they didn't, for the simple fact, when they in the same apartments that we had on Grand Atlanta, my apartment door number 206. They didn't hit my apartment on 206. They didn't hit my new house with me and my chick and my kids just moved to, where I had 200,000 and some odd in money and work over there. You know what I'm saying? So I knew if they was really on my trail, they would hit everything. Cause when the feds come, boy, if you got 5 shops, they gonna hit all 5 of them at one time. You got 5 houses, they gonna hit all 5 of them at one time. So I mean, I already knew. I mean, I feel like, you know, man, they got me. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man, it is what it is.
So you copped out to what and end up doing how much?
I copped out to the conspiracy. You cop out to the conspiracy. The conspiracy is 10 to life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that means you can get anywhere from 10 to life. You can't get under that 10.
Yeah.
If you get under that 10 and get out that conspiracy, you know why?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're working. You feel what I'm saying? If you get out of conspiracy and they drop it, that means, you know what I'm saying, you're working, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I got 128 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I end up doing like 109 months, something like that.
So now, man, we got superstar athlete, you know what I mean? Exceptional kid athlete, superstar high school athlete, you know. We got street star, you know, successful in the league. We ain't even talk about you breaking your neck in the semi-pro, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just we skipped that because your story's so interesting. There's so much to it. So now we got, you know, regional Bo, and then now you've confined to a cell, man. Talk to us about what that Fed life was like.
Man, I mean, honestly, bro, just being honest, bro, I didn't have no hard time in the Feds, bro. I mean, I went to El Reno, you know, went there. I played sports. Niggas knew me there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no problems at no prison I went to. I didn't watch my back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't nothing like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing hard, bro. Just the hard thing about doing the time was my kids were growing up without me. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I ever stressed about. That's the only thing I ever worried about. I wasn't worried about nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So I went from forward to, I went from El Reno medium to Latuna. I left Latuna, went to Fort Worth, left Fort Worth, and went back to El Reno to the camp, and I came home.
Okay. So that man, it's interesting, and so I'm gonna ask a very long question. So we talked before, got some understanding. I talked to you about High Street. We just went through numbers, mathematics. We know about your sports career, and now the penitentiary. And what I gather is that whatever you face, you just you accept it, you roll with it. But tell me this. We both grew up in the crack era. We got to be about the same age. Did what you became ever cross your mind when you reflect on people that were negatively impacted by the crack era of the 80s?
You asked me how did, like,
I'll rephrase the question.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because it was lengthy.
yeah.
It was like,
Yeah, I just didn't hear like the.
I got you. I got you.
All right.
You grew up in the crack era.
Right.
I mean, some people, it was like walking zombies. And we've seen movies, but in reality.
Right.
So later, this sports kid, this guy that everybody knows, starts to move up and do well.
Right.
Neighborhood hero. And then you have this business mind. You start hustling. Did you ever look back and say, hey, am I negatively impacting my community? Or am I going to push the community forward? What were your thoughts on the repercussions of the hustle life?
Well, I never thought about the negative impact until the impact the only thing that I thought about is when I got in the back of the police car and they say you got a federal warrant for your arrest. I knew right then that my kid's life would change drastically. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't gonna be no more, the Christmas ain't gonna be the same. The birthdays ain't gonna be the same. The winter clothes ain't gonna be the same. All the new Jordans and the polos and the best heel figure clothes and blah, 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 it wasn't gonna be the same, you know what I'm saying? That was the only thing that I said was, when I was in handcuffs, I was like, damn, my kids. That was the only thing that I thought about. I didn't think about everything else because I just didn't, I just didn't think about everything else, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when I sit back and look at it, you know what I'm saying, it was, like you saying, the negativity of being a drug dealer. What I did with it, I did everything positive with my money. It wasn't a person who didn't call me. Well, I can't say it wasn't a person, but if somebody called me that needed me, I gave it to them. You know what I'm saying? Because I was blessed to help. You know what I'm saying? I had enough money to help people. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't the the negative part of it. The only negative part that I knew that it affected was, damn, my kids, and that was pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like it was I look at it now, it affect my community because some of the kids who was looking up to me, playing ball in school or whatever, man, they stopped going to school. They stopped playing ball, and I was like, no, you can't do that. But I wasn't in a position to tell a kid that he can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like the little kid that played quarterback for me. This kid he could throw the ball anywhere around the world. But he didn't go, I thought that he would go to University of Texas. He didn't do that. He ended up going to some junior college. And then I just knew right then, one of my partners, rest in peace to Brandon Ratcliffe, B-Rat, I helped him all the way through high school, college, and he ended up getting killed, and they tried to put him on an indictment, whatever. But I saved him from the indictment because they thought that he was a drug dealer, and nobody never worked for me. Nobody never cooked no dough for me. Nobody never counted my money. I was a one-man machine in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't have a team. I had people around me, but they wasn't in my business. You know what I'm saying? So because selling drugs is not for everybody, just like smoking weed not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Drinking alcohol is not for everybody. I knew who was in my camp that could hustle and who couldn't hustle. So therefore, I didn't have to worry about people getting arrested with me from the conspiracy because nobody never did no dirt for me. I did all my own work, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I knew, like I said, it started affecting, its communities. I mean, it affected families, you know what I'm saying? It affected people. I mean, I just hear so many stories of, how a person just hit flat rock bottom when I got arrested, you know what I'm saying? Versus some of the people that I helped, like people through school or whatever, nursing school or whatever, and now I look up today, they got nursing degrees and running hospitals and doing this and that, running their own business. So it just wasn't all bad, man. It was just that some people just didn't know how to survive for themselves until I did go away. Then they learned how to survive for themselves. So the 10 years that I was erased, from the streets, you know what I'm saying, people had to find a way, so it wasn't no more handicapping and crutching them. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it affected a lot of people though with me getting arrested though. I know it did.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to ask you on the inverse, and I'm going to speak on me. So I grew up similar situation, but it wasn't just drug money. It was hoe money. And it was a lot of it. But then, around 1986, my father sat on that same couch and told a story. He tried that little thing called crack cocaine. And it rocked my life for the next 10, 12 years, all while I was in school. And it made me manic, you know? So when I look at it, and I'm listen, you mastered the numbers, you mastered all that. But when I look back at the kids who lost their parent, and I still got my father, so I'm blessed, but they lost them for a while, right? When they were zombies. Do you look at that aspect and wonder, or provide something now to try to help those families?
Well, first I'm gonna say this, like you talking about your father. My father died while I was in prison. So, and he was in and out of jail, you know, throughout my whole life, until I was around about, I don't know, I want to say till I was in my 20s, mid-20s. You know, my daddy was a hustler. Him and my Uncle Tommy just passed. They had apartments, grand, South Dallas, by $1,000, $1,000, $2. It was just more of me wanting to be around my father.
Okay.
And I know that, like he used to take me and my brother to the park with them big ass baseball uniforms on and shit, and teach us how to throw a baseball and basketballs, and he did all of that. You know what I'm saying? But it was more like I was fatherless because of him being incarcerated in and out. But I knew who my daddy was. Like, let's not get that part confused. You know what I'm saying? Even my dad had got incarcerated, I think, like when I was in high school, and I didn't see him since I think the 7th or 8th grade. And he came to one of my high school games, and he was like, "Hey, big kid," and I just kept hearing somebody say it, and I turned around and I look up in the stands. It's my father. I threw a football to him, and they tried to kick me out of the ISD for the act or whatever. But Coach Deere and them fought for me real hard, and I didn't get kicked out of school. So I go to college. I get out. I start selling drugs, and he called me from prison one day, and he was like, "Hey man, hey, what is you out there doing?" I was like, "Daddy, what you talking about?" He said, "What is this they talking about? You got Stampede Records, you got all this money in." I was like, "Dad, I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "How long you got before you get out?" He was like, "I got 4 more months." I was like, "All right, just send the money slips." He sent the money slips. I sent him like $4,000 to make sure he had money for the time he was there. And then when he got out, I just showed him my whole layout. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's just a quick story on my pops, and I love him to death, you feel me? But now you're saying what I do actually to give back to the people that's, with this era of crack and doing drugs, whatever it might be, mental health issues or whatever they got. Right now, I run the City Crest Comics Foundation, which they redoing our building right now at 1,007 Hudson Road. Man, we deal with broken families, man. We, mentor, kids, adults, whoever it may be. We try to give people the help that they need, I can't promise you about what I'm gonna do, but if it's in me to do it, then I get it done. Because inside the community, it gotta be leadership in the community, you know what I'm saying? You have to lead by example. So I go to elementary schools, middle schools, high schools. It doesn't make a difference. Parents call me to do whatever when it comes to giving back to these kids. I deal with this one guy, me and him became close friend, Mr. Lee Jackson. He got distinctive ministry. They go inside the community and do a lot of stuff. So of course I deal with them. I deal with urban specialists down there with Antoine Lucky. Rest in peace to Bishop Omar. They have a great program going down there, man. And I can't tell you, you know what I'm saying, like I just been so blessed to be in a space with good people who want to give back to these communities and give all the help that they can to these people. So, you know, with me being in the mix, I'm already connected with everybody. And I was doing this before I connected with Mr. Lee Jackson or urban specialist.
Okay.
I was already, you know what I'm saying, mentoring and trying to help families, you know what I'm saying, try to get, you know, things correct. You know, it's still a struggle today, you know what I'm saying, with my mom, like, you know, but I don't stop fighting, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And if I don't give up, I don't think that the individuals that we come in tune to or come in tune with, you know, they need help with staying strong. So I take on a hell of a role, a hell of a responsibility. Like I take on it, you know what I'm saying? Because I know what crack do to people's homes. You know what I'm saying? I know about how kids can be with broken homes where a lot of kids are being raised by single parents, and majority of the parents, 96% of them is women. You know what I'm saying? So it's not only is it coaching for me, it's being a coach is being a mentor, it's a father figure, you know, it's all that, man. So, you know, I try to give back, you know, give them everything that I possibly can get him.
Good. And that was the part, man. That was the part. Because listen, when I was talking about how impressed, it's just it was the math, it was the numbers. It was that you took something that most people, you know, they thought it was a blessing if they got a half ounce or a 9 or whatever, and they flipped it or guessed on the weight and all that, and you did the math. So for me, yeah, you turned that into legitimate business with your record label. And my only thought is, man, you could have been a legitimate CEO of anything. And I just wanted to know how you felt about the overall community, and I appreciate the work that you're doing in it.
I love Cedar Crest, man. Don't get me wrong, man. Like, I love where I come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can go on and on about Cedar Crest, you know. And at the end of the day, man, it's real important that I stay in Cedar Crest. You know, trying to help change the culture. You know what I'm saying? You have to change the culture with changing the environment. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard. I mean, I can't save everybody, but I can save the ones that I can give my time to.
Yep.
And that's what I can do.
Yep.
So with them giving us a remodeling our building over there, they giving us a turf field, turf baseball, hardwood basketball floor being done by the Mavericks. I believe they raised some odd dollars, over $10, $12 million, to put a bank inside the building, mental health people be inside there. It'll be a free Medicaid on the inside. After school programs, man, we have football, basketball, baseball, track, wrestling, lacrosse, volleyball. I mean, you name it, we have it year round. So we have golf. I mean, we have whatever you need. City Crest, we got it to offer.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we want to be able to take these young men and young girls and, you know, teach them, you know, how to grow up. You know what I'm saying? Show them what we actually went through, because I feel like our time of when we came up, it was the best era of living, because what we got to offer today is what we was raised off of, and it didn't fail us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not gonna fail them, but we gotta instill it in them today.
And that's what I hear when you talk about, and when we go back to your across the street neighbor, when we talk about the love and the mentorship that you got at the Salvation Army through the comments, man. You know what I mean? For you to go all around the globe, man, and go through all this story, and then to come back and plant yourself in that community and do the work that you're doing right now. And we about to close. I want to ask you a couple things. What do your kids call you? That you coach, you know what I mean? Like
they call me Coach Bo Leg.
They call you Bo Leg story and who Bo Leg is.
No, they don't know this story. They were out. Their kids come back, man. They tell their kids, like, someone to come back and talk to the kids. And of course, you know, it's one thing kids never. Two things kids sons, or they never seen drugs. The only thing they know was my coach had plenty of money. I tell all the kids, hey man, get whatever kind of shoes you want, because some is fortunate. My homeboy named T-Man, Byron T-Man Barnett, gave me my cleats. He had a white pair and a black pair, which one of them was his practice cleats. His mom beat his tail. Yeah. That's been my dog ever since, you know what I'm saying? Take in on how people treated me and what they gave me and what I seen people. Like I say, Mr. Gregory Glover, my grandma. It's a lot I seen, watch them raise and build their families. You know, I just try to do what I can do, man, to just be fair and right to people, man, be righteous. In the hand with how your character, nothing outweighs your character, not even money. You know what I'm saying? So you go get this with me if I got $1, if I got a meal ticket, this me, man.
That's what's up. Hey, man, it's been a blessing, man, to have Terrence Bo Leg Randolph with us, man. I mean, he shared a great story on living testimony, and he walked us down through that, man. I appreciate you, Bo Leg.
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Part 2 on the way.
Already.